Hi there and welcome to the second edition of the Beginner Pilates program, which is going to be 7 days long in duration. Now the workouts are meant to be done in order, but you don't have to do them every day. You can space them out to suit you and your lifestyle. We're going to do 4 exercises every day, and each of those exercises I'm going to be starting at very beginner level, but I'm also going to offer progression opportunities for those people that perhaps want something a little bit more challenging. Don't feel that you have to go with the progression. In fact, it's really important that you listen to your own body and you find the right level for you. If you try a progression and you realise that perhaps it's just one step too far, you can of course regress the exercise back to the beginner level. Just make sure you're really listening to your body and you are challenging yourself enough but not pushing yourself too far too soon. Now, I've been a Pilates teacher for over 15 years, and over that time, I have developed my own delivery of Pilates. So still staying true to the original concept, making sure that I incorporate plenty of the original exercises, but certainly I have taken influence from other areas of fitness to develop a program that I deliver to my clients week in, week out, which I think is a really effective way of keeping people moving, particularly as they get older. So this is very much my approach to Pilates. So grab yourself a mat and make sure you're wearing clothing that is comfortable, that you can move in freely, and let's get started. So we're going to get warmed up quickly. I want you to bring the arms up overhead, and then as if you've got an imaginary ball in each hand, I want you to throw the arms behind you. So we're bouncing through the ankles, the knees, the hips. Now, if you have sore knees, you can keep this movement really small through the knee joint, and you can really focus on using the arms a little bit more, yeah? But if you're happy, if your knees are happy, then you can really create quite a lot of movement here. So really throwing the arms back. And this in turn is going to elevate the heart rate, get us warmed up a little bit quicker so we can get to work. Keep these sessions short, sharp and punchy. Good, well done. Last one. And then from here, we're going to take the feet out a little bit wider. Now just be careful that there's nothing around you that you're going to hit your hand on. And we're going to twist from side to side. So here we've got a little pivot on the toes here. If you notice, I'm lifting the heels. This is going to give me a little bit more rotation, and I'm letting the arms just flap from side to side, again creating a bit of momentum to get that body twisting each time I move, keeping everything nice and relaxed. Good, well done. So let's come down to the mat, get started. So bring yourself to the back of the mat. Now, I tend not to roll people down in the traditional way for various reasons. So I'm going to encourage you to sit your hips back. If you want to do the roll down, if you know the Pilates roller, then you can do it. Otherwise, as if you're sitting back into a chair, you're going to sit the bum down, the chest is going to come down over the thighs, and then you're just going to roll forwards to bring yourself down into tabletop. Now we're going to start with a bit of Superman. We're going to work the core, the shoulders, the hips, challenge our balance. And we're going to start by keeping the back nice and straight. Now I want you to imagine that you're trying to balance a tray of drinks on your back. So we're not here, we're not arched through the back, we're not relaxed through the abdomen. We're slightly pulled in, so equally you don't want to be up here. So slightly pulled in through the belly, slight tuck of the tailbone underneath. The hands are slightly forward to the shoulders. So we're going to take a breath in, and as we breathe out, we're going to slide the right hand forwards, left leg back. And then as we breathe in, we're coming back to the start. Now this is a movement that we're just going to keep repeating from side to side, extending the arm and leg away and then coming back to the start position. And the idea is that you keep the trunk of the body really still. So again, I'm thinking about your tray of drinks, not wobbling around. Now, if you want to make this a bit more challenging, as you extend away, you could lift the leg. Now we're only bringing the leg up to about hip height. you could lift instead the arm, or you could alternate. So each time you extend, one time you might lift the arm, and then the next time you might lift the leg. And then of course, you could lift both at the same time. So it's really about finding that right level for you. If you're really beginner, then by all means, just do one at a time. And focus here on the goal of bringing the wrist up in line with the shoulder, the ankle up in line with the hip, and keeping the trunk of the body really still. But if you want to take it so that both the arm and leg are lifting at the same time, then of course, go for it. Now your eyes are looking down but slightly forwards. And as I said, just always thinking about that imaginary tray of drinks on your back. So from here, we're going to sit back into child's pose. We're going to have a little stretch. So sit back. We often get a little bit overloaded through the wrists when we're in tabletop, so just loosen off the wrists a little bit. And then we're going to make our way down onto our tummy for back extension. So here I want you to bring your toes, your big toes together, and let your heels drop out to the side. And your elbows are going to be in line with your shoulders, your forearms extended forwards. Now again, we're going to keep the eyes looking down. We're going to start at level 1. So we're going to take a big breath in. And then as we breathe out, we're going to extend through the spine to lift the chest away. As we breathe in, we relax the chest back down into the mat. And again, as we breathe out. Now notice that my eyes are looking down. What often happens with this exercise, it's a very natural thing people do. As they extend through the back, they straight away lift the chin. Now there's nothing really fundamentally wrong with that. It's just that it can create a false sense that you're extending through the back, because you could do that without actually lifting the chest. So try to keep the eyes down. You want to feel this here in the lower back. Now again, if you want to make this a little bit more challenging, I'm going to give you a progression option. As you extend through the upper back, you just float those forearms slightly away from the floor, and then you lower back down. So again, a very small movement, but adding a huge amount of resistance as we float those arms away. Good, well done. So we're going to come up and we're going to have a little stretch. So come up onto your hands and knees. We're going to take a cat stretch. So I want you to just tuck your tailbone underneath. Pull the belly up. This is a really nice release stretch after you've done back extension. And then relax it down. And again, we're going to come up, nice big stretch, chin into the chest. Good, and then we're going to make our way over onto our back, and we're going to move into shoulder bridge. So you're going to come down here with your feet flat to the floor, your knees raised, and your hands down by your side. Now your feet need to be fairly close to your bottom, and your heels about fist width apart. Now what we don't want to do, and I see people do this sometimes, is pull the ankles right into the bottom, because then when we come up into bridge, the knees end up traveling over the toes. So just walk them in, and if you, as you come up, if you find your knees are coming over the toes, just step the feet slightly away. So we're going to take a breath in, and then as we breathe out, you're going to tilt your pelvis, so your tailbone tucks underneath, your lower back comes down towards the mat, and then we press down evenly across the footbed as we pull the tailbone, the bottom, the hips off the mat, and we roll up along the spine until we reach the shoulders. And then here we want a lovely long line from the knee down to the shoulder, like a ski slope. And then we're going to take a breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to roll all the way back down. Now again, you're going to squeeze the tailbone underneath. You're going to tilt the pelvis, so we really open up into that lower back as we roll down. And this is a movement that we do super slow. Release that lower back again, take a breath in. And again, as we breathe out, we go again, rolling all the way up, taking our time to articulate every vertebra of the spine. Try and push down evenly across your footbed. And again, we roll all the way down. Now we want to avoid coming up onto the neck. We're just coming up onto the shoulders here. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, and this is a really good challenge for the core, once you're up in your bridge, instead of rolling straight down, take a breath in as you lift your arms up overhead and lay them on the floor behind you. And then as you breathe out, you're going to roll all the way down. And again, as you breathe in, we're going to bring the arms all the way back down by your side. Yeah, so it makes it a little harder. Just to say as well, you might find that you shuffle up the mat a little bit. So if you have to reposition yourself, feel free. Okay. Rolling all the way up. Taking the arms up and overhead, laying them on the floor behind you. And then lowering back down. Super, super slow. And again, bring the arms all the way back down. Good, well done. 2 more, rolling all the way up. And again, bringing those arms up. Now remember, this is a progression option, so if this is just one step too far for you, you're going to keep those arms down by your side. Good, so on this one, I'm going to keep my arms down by my side here, rolling all the way up. And it's, especially as you start to work through the repetitions, it's fine to regress back as well if you're getting tired. Rather than just stop, unless you feel you need to, just go back to an easier option. Just take it down. And then once you're back down here, we're going to take the knees up into the chest. We're going to have a little hug of the knees. Listen. Good, well done. And then we're just going to finish with what we call a hip rock. So we're going to take the feet again, similar position to what we have in the bridge, but the arms are going to be a little wider this time. And then from here, we're going to take a breath in. Again, we're going to squeeze the ribs to pelvis. And as we breathe out, we're going to roll the knees over to the right. And then as we breathe in, we're going to squeeze those knees back through the center. And again, as we breathe out, we're going to take the knees over to the left. Now, I've got the wall a little bit in the way here. So try and bring the knees down as low as you can to the floor, keeping the opposite shoulder down, just so we're not over-rotating. So this is a really nice mobility exercise for the spine. Most people really enjoy this exercise, but it also challenges your core. So as you lift the legs up through the center, challenging your core. Now again, if you want to take this to level 2, now this is quite a jump up here. You're going to bring your legs off the floor into tabletop. So your shins are parallel to the ceiling, knees over the hips, and then you're going to lower down from here. Now, try to avoid using any momentum. So really slow this down. So you're using the core to control the lower down phase and to lift the legs all the way back up. Again, I've got the wall in the way here. Good, well done. So just moving from side to side. And again, with this one, and I see this a lot actually with my clients, again, it gets to the point where it just gets a bit too much with those legs off the floor. We bring the feet back down and we just go back to that more gentle stretch. Good, so just enjoying the stretch, but legs up in tabletop. If you want to add that extra core strength, it really does work into these obliques, the muscles that run all the way along the side. It works the whole of the core. Squeezing the ribs to pelvis as you pass through the center. And then from here, we just have a little hug of the knees into the chest. So just bringing them up again. This is just a nice little release stretch for the lower back. So just having a little rock from side to side or making small circles. Good, well done. So I hope you enjoyed that first set. I'll be back again tomorrow where we'll be covering some more exercises. Again, I'll be offering you a progression option. So I look forward to seeing you then.